Trump voters, let's go with this premise. They're illiterate Southern rednecks who couldn't find Ukraine on a map. Hold on a second. Hillary Clinton didn't lose she lost the election because of Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan.
Oh.
Yep.
So which idiot needs to read a map, Don Levin? Does it need to be topographical? It's like, I'm just used to Street View. Question of the day first. What do you think is the worst part about the recent Don Lemon clip? For those who haven't seen it, we're going to show it in just a couple of seconds. Do you think it's how smug it is, how painfully unfunny it is, how dismissive it is of anyone who might even disagree with them, let alone this entire swath of flyover America? Okay, some of you may not have the context. I think most of you do. Lester, still on Lester Holt.
Lester,
there we go.
Who is, by the way, blacker than Don Lemon.
No.
So yesterday, Don Lemon ran a segment where he had guests M. Night Shyamalan and professional asker of Questions 3, Rick Wilson, as they roundly mocked Trump voters at length.
He also knows deep in his heart that Donald Trump couldn't find Ukraine on a map if you had the letter U and a picture of an actual physical crane next to it. He knows that this is, an administration defined by ignorance.
He acts like he's in an episode of Laugh-In.
So that's partly him playing to their base and playing to their audience.
M. Night likes it.
The credulous boomer rube demo that backs Donald Trump that wants to think that Donald Trump's a smart one.
Not that funny.
Y'all elitists are.
They're just encouraging him now.
You elitist with your geography and your maps
this guy jumps
and your
in.
spelling. Even though my math,
It's like Macaulay Culkin on the Joe Rogan Experience,
where
he just jumps in and makes stories worse.
No one
it's just a humoring.
Or like me.
Sipping your latte.
all those lines on the map.
All right.
Only them elitists know where Ukraine is.
It keeps going.
How long does this go?
Sorry, I
20
apologize.
more seconds. It's still.
But by the way,
Oh my God!
but you know what? But it was Rick's fault. I blame Rick.
All right. Okay. I think I've seen enough. You guys can go watch the clip in its entirety, and I won't run it on my site. President Trump responded by tweeting, Don Lemon, the dumbest man on television with terrible ratings. I love that he had an exclamation mark in the parentheses and out of the parentheses.
Yeah, got that punctuation.
And a lot of people were upset about this tweet, which brings us to this week's Donald Trump fact check tweet.
Tweet check. Fact Trump. Trump fact check tweet. Fact check. News.
It is news, and don't you forget
Yeah.
it.
That's good. That's
So,
really good.
Fact check here. A couple of statements that he made. He is correct. Don Lemon has horrible ratings.
Oh.
So there.
That's true.
One for one. We're
that.
going to fact check, though, his previous statement. President Trump was, in fact, incorrect. I don't know if he was dishonest or being deliberately misleading, but he was incorrect. Don Lemon is not the dumbest person on television. That is verifiably Wolf's lowest score ever on Celebrity Jeopardy Blitzer.
Wow.
Yeah.
But to go back to this, the joke, I was being generous when we were doing pitch. I was like, wasn't he like at negative 700? Negative 4,600.
Yeah. Way more. Wow.
We'll get back to this, why the mockery of Donald Trump's voters is so misguided. But first, let's demonstrate why. Let me make my case as to why Don Lemon is a piece of shit. He's proud of it. So,
Smiling.
reason number 5,
the
and I didn't
brand.
want to do this, by the way, with Don Lemon, because I've been requested to be on his show, and I don't have a disdain for him. Sometimes I think of him as somewhat more moderate until I went through the archives to create this segment, and now, I mean, my dislike is palpable.
You can taste
I know
it.
it's wrong. It's wrong to
In the
hate. I
air.
would never
Yes.
hate.
It is. Sure.
Yes.
But the feeling of hating everything that makes up the fiber of his being is different.
It is.
yeah.
It's
really
different. It's not your
equality.
soul. It's
equality.
just the rest of it. So
It's your aura.
reason number 5, in case you've forgotten this, his absolutely terrible performance as a debate moderator.
Congressman O'Rourke, President Trump is pursuing a re-election strategy based in part on racial division. What do you say to those Trump
And this
voters
comes from
who
Newsbusters,
prioritize
by the
the
way.
economy over the president's bigotry? Why are you the best candidate to heal the racial divide that exists in this country today, which has been stoked by the president's racist rhetoric? After the president's racist tweets attacking Baltimore and Congressman Elijah Cummings, the mayor of Baltimore slammed the tweets and said to the president, and I quote here, "Help us. Send the resources that we need to rebuild America." So what would you do for Baltimore and other cities that need help?
Mr. Castro, Trump is A, racist, B, bigoted, C, prejudiced, or D, all of the above. You have the floor. By the way, who burned down Baltimore, Don Lemon? Was it Donald Trump? This happened before Donald Trump's presidency. Baltimore,
that's
I think
awkward.
Baltimore was Freddie Gray and Ferguson was Michael Brown. This happened under Black Lives Matter and Barack Obama.
Right.
Yeah.
This is not debate moderation, which I'm so glad now that we've seen this, because for the longest time, and as you'll see later, he tries to present himself as just a centrist, right down the middle, a moderate. Well, thank God that we have this performance on the record. Okay, let's go to reason number 4. This is something that it requires a little bit more context, but of course, Don Lemon has gone on his show and ad nauseum bashed President Donald Trump for his, I guess, sort of sexual assault comments.
What if I told you that I have a secretly recorded tape of him bragging about sexually assaulting women?
Yeah. Well, you don't have that tape.
Yeah.
Let's be really clear. Trump was, and we know the tape in question, wasn't thrilled with it for other reasons, but he's actually talking about a consensual encounter. They let you grab him by the pussy. Now, I get it. The second part of that sounds pretty bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that doesn't
and
change
impractical.
They let you. Now, let's compare that, this is why it matters, to the sexual assault that Don Lemon himself allegedly committed. Allegedly committed.
Yeah.
I'm clear there, half of Asian Bill. We don't know if
One
this
more
is
time.
true.
One more.
Allegedly committed sexual assault. And let me describe exactly what that is. He didn't say you can because they allow you to. No. He allegedly bought a man a drink, approached him at a bar. When that didn't work, the man rebuffed his advances. He stuck his hands down his own shorts, rubbed his genitals, and then wiped his hands on the man's nose and mustache aggressively, accompanied with the pickup line, have the bleep button ready, do you like pussy or d-?
Wow.
I've heard of people being out of touch with gay culture, but some of them are quite different in their approach, aren't they?
Wow. There's a whole.
I just can't. That was his approach. By the way, this was after he bought the drinks and it was rebuffed. Because I know that when a couple of Cosmos maybe don't loosen the lady up, I go, taint sweat? How about that? By the way, hit the notification bell. Hit all notifications if you're watching on YouTube, because subscriptions don't mean a whole lot. And do consider joining Mug Club at louderwithcrowder.com/mugclub. That's what allows this, the Daily Show, that is not available on YouTube, all the Change My Minds, on location stuff. Please do consider supporting us. Here's another reason number 3, why Don Lemon is a piece of excrement. He said that it wasn't Jussie Smollett's fault that he went out there and proactively, premeditatedly faked a hate crime. Now, keep in mind, the following clip that I'm about to show you was after it was clear to everyone that Jussie Smollett had made up the story. Not as bad as Brian Stelter, but getting close.
In the court of public opinion, Jussie has lost. He's lost the fight in the court of public opinion. And he lost that because of how, and not his fault, maybe people were, I don't know what they were saying to him, how maybe because of his representatives. Who knows?
I don't know.
But it was
Maybe because he too is equally.
Don.
You think it's his fault? You think he was doing what he wanted?
Well, he went out and he gave the interview. So
A piece of shit. I love how he just,
Look back in the archives. We
he
have
just
that
goes
too.
like, it's not his fault. He wants that. That's trying to just sort of gloss over something.
Yeah,
and I love that someone called him like, wait, not his fault.
Hold on.
Right?
He walked around with, and it wasn't even a rope. But I think that is the single video I've laughed the most at.
Yes.
Alone in my chair at home. That wasn't an actual comedy video. Was Jussie Smollett, the police footage of him with the rope around his neck when they walk in.
Yeah.
And it looks like he just pulled a shoelace off an old pair of Reebok pumps.
Yes, left it there.
No, look, I wanted
I
to
was
see
in my house
that I had it on. You know?
I could not breathe. I was like, is this the rope? And the cop's like, you can take that off. And Jussie Smollett's like, well, I wanted to keep it on so you could see. They're like, we see. That's enough.
We got it.
Reason number 2. This is, I think we have the overlay. Yeah, this was based on the reaction you're about to see. Was Donald Trump tweeting out the Thanos meme?
Yeah.
Right.
And Don Lemon, God love him,
on.
had this on air. I hate the idea when people just do the clickbait was like a meltdown. I mean, this seems borderline like a meltdown over a meme.
What are we in junior high school? Like, what the hell? What is this?
Sir, it's Twitter.
Who says junior high school?
It's the internet.
Junior high.
Look at him.
The prompter broke.
No, this is on prompter.
Every little word. Continue pausing.
Right?
Well, watch this. He gets so sincere.
This is crazy.
And I'm
This is literally crazy. Are you people insane?
You people?
Who's you people?
What?
Are you insane?
Who's he looking at? Off camera, they're like,
Go
stop,
ahead.
stop, please.
Troll the Democrats on Twitter. Do this stupid, silly. You know what?
You know what?
Play this stupid, juvenile meme game. History won't record this meme, stupid crap.
Okay. I love that you mentioned Junior. He's like a teacher in grade school who doesn't know who committed a crime and is trying to guilt the students into coming forward. They're all like, that's bullshit. He's got nothing. Yeah. Like, this is crazy. You kids, you go and you steal Julian's Red Hots and and none of you have the guts to come forward? You do that. And you live with the guilt. You live with the history one. They're like, bullshit. Like he's trying to convince anyone, like he's expecting the one special needs kid to be like, Danny stole the Red Hots. I knew it.
Nice.
I cannot believe that this is on it. By the way, no one is making you report on every single Donald Trump tweet, Don Lemon. You know how they used to do it? If you don't like it, change the channel.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, Don Lemon, don't go through the 9-hour daily process of putting it in your show map.
Exactly.
This is the last reason. I guess we're down to, that's right, number one, because all of this is made possible by the lie. And this is emblematic of the lie that you see from everyone in media, from Chris Cuomo to Brian Stelter and Don Lemon. They all make the same claim, but I want you to hear it straight from the piece of shit's mouth, that Don Lemon is not partisan or a Democrat.
I have to disagree with you. I think on this one, the Republicans are on the wrong side of history, and they are the most hypocritical. I'm not a partisan. I know people think that I'm some liberal Democrat. I'm not. Or they used to think I was a conservative Republican. I'm not.
Wait.
What?
Who is going, gay black host on CNN in New York City? Ronald Reagan reincarnated?
That's not
People
my
are
first
confusing
thought,
you
no.
for a Republican? For a conservative
That never
Republican?
happened.
I mean, I guess as conservative a Republican as dead Johnny Mathis on CNN can be. I am not a liberal. What? What are you talking about? We just saw, and this is the problem, I think, with a lot of these sort of legacy media outlets. They don't understand that now they can be called on it.
Yeah.
It's like, I am not, as though no one will put side by side, as we have done, I am not a partisan liberal, as though we won't put that right next to Donald Trump's a racist. How would you fix the racism in this country with Donald Trump?
Yeah, exactly.
There's just such a lack of accountability because for the longest time, you just had CNN. You had CNN and you had network media, and then there was Fox News, but they sort of lived off in their own echo chamber. Yeah. Now, all of this content can be put in context and put together so that you can actually make your own appropriate judgments. And by the way, this all goes back to the idea with, again, professional asker of questions 3, Rick Wilson, M. Night Shyamalan, and Don Lemon, where they were talking about the idiots. The Donald Trump voters are morons. They wouldn't be able to spot Ukraine on a map if there was a U and a crane. Okay, first off, I don't like it. I don't like you, and I could hurt you. But Trump voters, let's go with this premise. They're illiterate Southern rednecks who couldn't find Ukraine on a map. Well, okay, that's the idea. That was, again, the premise. I encourage you to go watch the full clip. Well, hold on a second. Hillary Clinton didn't lose she lost the election because of Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan.
Oh.
Yep.
So which idiot needs to read a map, Don Lemon? Does it need to be topographical? It's like, I'm just used to Street View. This is... Really? What?
Oh, my God.
Google MapQuest? Are you insane? What is this, 2004? Ridiculous. So let's talk about the idiot voters who voted for Donald Trump. Are we talking about the people who elected a president who's brought us the lowest unemployment rate in 50 years, record numbers of workers returning to the workforce, high labor force participation rates, and by the way, worker layoffs at a 20-year low? Are we talking about the idiots who voted in the president and administration that brought with them policies that led to the highest median household income for middle-class families ever? By the way, it's a $5,000 since Donald Trump has become president. Compare that to only a $1,000 increase under the 8 years of Obama. At what point do you begin giving credit to Donald Trump as opposed to continuing the work that Barack Obama did when it is a 5-time increase in a shorter amount of time? The wage growth, by the way, just hit a 10-year high despite forecasts from people like you and experts on your show predicting the exact opposite, and it appears that growth is likely to keep accelerating. Again, Dow topped 29,000 for the first time ever in history. So I ask you, as you sit there and tell us that this is ridiculous and history won't remember the tweet troll, well, you know what? Maybe history won't. How about the rest of that? Who are the real idiots here? What will history remember? Because guess what? I'm hoping it's not the tweets as well, or your stupid segments, or your by the way, lowering hairline. Don't think that we don't notice, like Steven Seagal, where the hairline goes up and then plugs and it's back down. We get it. We know what's happening. You're not pulling a fast one over on us. Maybe that might fly with Wolf lowest score ever on Celebrity Jeopardy. Blitzer, but not here. What are you, insane? Ridiculous. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe or hit the notification bell and click all notifications so that you can be notified when new videos are up. I think there are videos playing in a box now. I don't really care about that much. I can hear the ocean in this mug, like I'm listening to a conch. Is it conch or conch? Conch? I don't know, but they really messed up Piggy.